we're going to go over where Congress gets its authority, supposedly. They're saying that Congress has the power to regulate commerce with foreign nations and among the several states in the Indian tribe. So what does regulate commerce among the states mean? Well, changes throughout the years, you've got to know what they're talking about. At one time, gay meant jovial and lighthearted. So if you consult the old dictionary, Webster's American Dictionary, 1828, defines commerce as an interchange of mutual goods, wares, productions, or property of any kind between nations or individuals, by barter, by purchase, sale, trade, traffic. So then we find out that what commerce means is it's a buying and selling of goods. I'm going to zoom that in, as this is where Congress thinks that they are getting their authority to produce firearm laws and a whole lot of other little things. Like your Obamacare, that's what they put this under. It's not under anything else. Okay. So, regulate, let's find out, now we must find out what regulate commerce among the several states means. Two readily available authorities tell us that the Federalist Papers, written in 1787 and 1787 by 88 by Alexander Hamilton, James Madison, John Jay, in order to explain the Constitution to the people and induce them to ratify it. The records of the Federal Convention of 1787 kept by James Madison. These authorities prove the purpose of the interstate commerce clauses are to prohibit the states from imposing tolls and tariffs on articles and imports, goods, commodities, merchandise as they are transported through the states for the purpose of buying and selling, so on and so forth. Okay. The Federalist Paper number 44, the fourth paragraph. Hamilton says, the interfering regulation of some states have given some just cause of complaints to others, and if not restrained by national control, it would multiply, till they became very serious sources of animosity and impede the intercourse between the different parts of the Confederacy. Okay, that's what that said. That was Federalist Paper number 22. Federalist Paper number 42 said the same thing. Okay? So, you can see that that's the only thing what commerce meant back in those days. It was the original intent. Now, when you look at the Constitution and you read it, just remember this one thing. The Constitution is a firm foundation. It's not flexible. And the Democrats have, since 1934, attempted to reinvent the Constitution to their political ways and means, the way they see it. And that's wrong. The Constitution of the United States is not open to interpretation. It means what it says. Congress has only limited powers. They are called enumerated powers. But now you have they're trying to they're trying to take over the federal Medicare, or federal takeover of Medicare. This redefinition of the clause resulted in a radical transformation in judicial philosophy. You cannot do that. So let's go to something else here. Hang on, people. I should be able to find it pretty soon. That's not it, but it'll work. We were warned by the founding fathers, and that's what we're up against right now. Okay, people, hang on. Here it is. Got it, people. Hang in there. This thing with the Congress trying to use the Commerce Clause. The Congress is appropriating state police powers under the guise of regulating commerce. Something else that gets me too. You know, they're saying that felons can't have firearms, and that's totally against the Constitution. Now, if the prisons let them out of prison, then they are saying that they release them, that these felons are no longer a threat, or they wouldn't be releasing them. Back in the old days, like during the cowboy days or something, you know, if they arrested you, they took your gun, you throw you in prison, you got out of prison, they handed you your gun back because you have the right to protect yourself. And just remember what the Supreme Court said. Police are not obligated to protect you. You're on your own. It says here, and we'll get this out of here. No free man shall ever be disbarred the use of arms. The strongest reason for the people to retain the right and keep and bear arms is as a last resort to protect themselves against tyranny and government. Thomas Jefferson. So when they come along and they start all this stuff about, you know, well, they got the authority. No, the problem has been is our Supreme Court of the United States. They try to water things down instead of getting to the gist of the daggone problem. They water it down because they get liberals in there and they try to pussyfoot around the damn thing instead of getting the job done. And then they go ahead and they slap somebody's wrist, but then it's left for the next group of people on down the line to deal with the shit that they wouldn't take care of in the Supreme Court when they had the chance. That's what goes on in this country. And when it comes to anything in the Constitution, every single one of them son of a guns in Supreme Court, instead of relying on what some judge said about it, they should look into the original intent of the Constitution. Not reading about what some other judge said about the Constitution, because that guy could have been, you know, off the deep end some way, shape, or form, or moved by some political reason to vote that way. You've got to go by original intent. That's the problem in this country. Read your Constitution, understand the doggone thing, and put these people in their place. When they fudge up, you tell them. These congressmen, remove them from office, recall them. The Second Amendment to our federal Constitution recognizes the God-given right to keep and bear arms. It's to be free from any interference whatsoever from the federal government. There's no place in the Constitution, people, that grants them authority to abridge, restrict, or infringe, or in any fashion whatsoever, guns or ammo. All those restrictive laws made by Congress and all the regulations made by the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms are unconstitutional as being outside the scope of the powers granted to Congress and to the executive branch by our Constitution. Restrictions on arms and ammunition is not one of the enumerated powers delegated to the Congress or to the executive branch. You've got to get those anti-constitutional wackos like Pelosi, Feinstein, Schumer, Harry Reid, all of them. You got to keep them out of office. You got to keep them from gaining any more power than what they've already gained. And what they have gained, you need to take away from. The Constitution is firm. It's not flexible, it's firm. Just like the foundations in the Bible, they're called the Ten Commandments. It's not flexible. Now, Ted Turner wanted them to change that. Yeah, wonder why. You know, Congress really needs to get out of the gun business. They've been at this since 1934, maybe before that. But they've come out of the closet, they've showed their colors, and you've got to get rid of them. You know, it's really funny. Here they are. They're trying to say, well, you can't have this firearm, you can't have that firearm. In fact, you can't have any firearms or ammunition or anything to go with it. Well, here's the thing. You had your Attorney General, Eric Holder, running guns out of office. You had allegedly had Bill Clinton down here in Little Rock, Arkansas, or Mena, Arkansas, selling, selling drugs. Then you got Hillary allegedly selling Stinger missiles, and they're trying to tell you how to live and how to conduct yourself. Now, according to this Commerce Clause, the Congress is trying to restrict firearms. Well, in doing so, they mess up Congress. They're a mess up commerce. They are deriving other people of making a living. I mean, not only would it put the manufacturers themselves out of business, but you got, all your guns and ammunition, or your ammunition companies, going to lose money. The people who make firearms, they're going to have to lay off people. The people that make accessories like your sights, your binoculars, your whatever, anything that goes along, your holsters, things like that. This commerce affects everybody. And Congress is trying to screw you people out of a job. Just look at the EPA. There's another regulation agency that needs to be disbanded. I mean, they put these people in power, they make all these laws, and then they go around in these little mom and pop places, that maybe employed 3 or 4 people, but they employed them all the time. They had a constant job. Then the EPA comes in and say, well, you got to do this and you got to do that. You got to clean up the air. You got to do this. And put them out of business. And what do these other companies do? When the EPA comes in, what do? They start sending all the work overseas because there's no EPA over there. Look at that lead smelter out there in Missouri. This thing's been going for years and years and years, and the EPA comes in, screws these people out of a job. You talk about commerce, where in the hell was your Congress then? When they were losing all them jobs. They should have shut down the EPA, but no. Congress doesn't want to do their job. They're focused on getting rid of the firearms. Okay, guys, thanks for watching.